China's economy is in serious trouble right now. Even the owners of luxury houses in Shanghai are taking the lead in cashing out and selling them. These owners in heaven and earth have never used their assets easily, but now they can't hold back. You say there is something behind this. How much motivation? Some market sources revealed that this selling spree is simply a manifestation of the utter despair of the rich in China's economy. In this way, the economic situation may be on the verge of collapse. Even the rich and powerful who are greedy for life and fear of death can't stand it, and choose to give up their assets. Don't you think this is a big bad thing? Is China's economy really at the end of its rope? Recently, the luxury real estate market can be described as turbulent. Even Shanghai Riverside Garden, a super-large waterfront luxury residential area known as the tallest building in Asia, cannot escape this disaster. According to statistics, there are currently an astonishing 235 sets of luxury houses listed for sale in this luxury residential area, a figure that has soared 3 times compared to the same period last year. It seems that the homeowners here are all planning to escape from this waterfront paradise as quickly as possible, turning this place into a luxury version of escaping from Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou and Shenzhen. The luxury homeowners have been shocked as a whole recently, and news of chain listings has come one after another. Especially the well-known mansion, Tiandi, now has as many as 135 sets listed for sale, which is simply dazzling. Tiandi has always been the vein of luxury houses, but now it has fallen into this vortex, which is really worrying. There is also the Sunac Binjiang No. 1 courtyard located on the bank of the Huangpu River, with nearly 50 units listed for sale. It seems that the wave of cashing out of luxury houses is coming again. This was simply unimaginable in the past. The wave of cashing out of luxury houses that appeared 8 years ago is now hitting again. And the scale and far-reaching impact of this time are astonishing. Green Lake World used to be a shining pearl in the core area of the inner ring of Xintiandi in Huangpu district, and has always been a high-profile project in the luxury housing market. The high-end real estate in this place was once a battleground for many rich and famous people. And it is a myth and legend in the luxury real estate market. However, since March this year, the once bright name has started to fade a bit. The number of listings for sale in Tiandi has been increasing, and the listing rate of luxury houses even exceeded an astonishing 7% in mid-May. This once wealthy area has become so deserted, as if it has been forgotten in the corner of the city, only the dust blown by the wind, and the desolate silence. Tiandi, once known as the magic needle of the luxury housing market, is now like a forgotten orphan, ignored and neglected. The once coveted high-end real estate in this area has become a daunting hot potato that no one wants to take over. The luxury housing market in the North Bund area in the inner ring of Hongkou district has also fallen into a dark situation. Especially the well-known real estate Ruihong New City, as a leader in the luxury housing industry in Hongkou district, was once unparalleled. Many successful people in Shanghai gather here, living extravagant lives beyond words, which makes the outside world extremely envious. However, the good times don't last long, and there are unpredictable things. In March of this year, Ruihong New City began to see a large number of listings, and the prices were also declining. In May, the number of listings increased by 15%, and the price fell below 100,000 yuan per square meter. This gap is so large that it is really unacceptable. The luxury real estate market in Shanghai has always been the leader in the country, where the wealthiest people in China gather here. And their lives are extravagant. However, there is now a boom in large-scale listings, which undoubtedly rings alarm bells. Since Shanghai was closed in March last year, the atmosphere in the city of Shanghai has become dull and sad. Many Shanghainese felt unbearable such despair and anxiety, and they began to look for a way out. Some chose to leave Shanghai, while others planned to go abroad in search of a better life. It's just that there are still some rich people who still refuse to jump ship with a fluke mentality, naively thinking that after the epidemic is raging, China's economy will usher in an improvement. But reality is too harsh. The basic national policy that once centered on economic construction has now changed to center on national security. Perhaps, this is a sharp turn in the history of economic development. Perhaps this is also a sharp turn in history, a future that people can't even imagine. We don't know what the market will look like, but what we do know for sure is that it's not what it used to be. It has become a place full of unknowns and dangers, a place that makes people shudder. Historical experience tells us that when a country's economic development starts to stagnate, then the country will often start to mess with people. The so-called making troubles and people is nothing more than passing on internal conflicts and looking for external enemies. This usually means the abuse of power, even the exercise of violence. Faced with such a situation, it is normal for people to feel alarmed. In many dynasties in Chinese history, after the economic growth slowed down, internal and external troubles began to occur frequently. The abuse and oppression of power has also intensified. This undoubtedly brings great troubles and even threats to the survival and development of normal people. Therefore, whenever the economy stagnates and the mobility of social classes declines, we can always see intellectuals and rich people fleeing in a hurry. They understand that once the trend of making trouble and messing with people prevails, it is often their class that bear the brunt. After all, in the eyes of bureaucracy, the higher the knowledge, the greater the wealth, and the greater the potential threat. Therefore, once the economy stagnates to a certain extent, the regime must take actions to appease public opinion and divert attention. At this time, their first thought was to take action against these potential threats. Faced with such a prospect, how can the intellectuals and the rich sit still? They know the consequences of making troubles and people, so they will naturally choose to escape this dirty current. Even if it is to leave temporarily, it is better than directly becoming a victim of the enemy. This helpless choice is really embarrassing. However, in any dynasty, this is the most sensible choice they can make.